Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 might just appear to be a series refresh similar to Madden and FIFA. However, it's much more than that, and most importantly, it offers plenty of structure and direction for those that are looking for it, along with the freedom to go anywhere for those pilots that prefer that approach. Unfortunately, there is some turbulence, and after getting my pilot's license in career mode and spending plenty of hours in the skies, there are a lot of things to talk about with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. After spending a few hours with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I unfortunately bounced off and never returned. It was a gorgeous game with deep systems that felt like a reintroduction of the series after an absence of 14 years, and it was also the first time it was ever on console. It was a giant flight sandbox with the Earth in the palm of your hand, but for me, I needed a little more direction. As soon as I downloaded the game and realized that it was only 11 gigabytes, I was worried, because when something seems too good to be true, it usually is. There was a lot of talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 improving in many ways, and one of the big talking points was not putting so much strain on your Xbox hard drive, but instead streaming the majority of the game from the cloud in real time. Now, on paper, this sounds like an amazing idea, but in practice, servers became overloaded and many hopeful pilots, including myself, were unable to play for the first few days, which was unfortunate. The good news is that every day since hasn't been an issue getting into the game and getting into the skies again. Unfortunately, once into the game, there are issues that still linger, which we will get into shortly, but we want to talk about the swath of new features that have been added to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. There is a new physics system for a more realistic experience, but there are also plenty of modes depending on what type of aviation experience you are looking for, including a ranked challenge league with a rotating assortment of weekly missions that usually revolve around low altitude flights, races, and precision landings. There are also daily activities, free flight mode, but the biggest and most defining feature, and why we're interested, is career mode. Career mode is exactly what it sounds like, and you start your aviation career by first getting your pilot's license, which begins with the basics of landing, taking off, flaps, traffic patterns, proper turning, correct descent, and everything else in between. Once you obtain your pilot's license, it's up to you how you want to proceed and become almost whatever kind of pilot you want to be. Literally, the sky is the limit. Sadly, weeks after launch, there are still issues that are plaguing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Visuals are often muddy, textures are having a tough time loading, character models often don't render fully, and loading times can be very lengthy. Some of these launch issues will hopefully be ironed out very soon, but there are some design choices that will likely remain. The most egregious design choice was the decision to use AI voice for the career mode, which is mind-boggling. The better option would have been to hire actual voice actors to do these lines and make it feel more authentic and aligned with the gameplay. In its current state, the voice acting is jarring and immersion breaking. Obviously, the reason you're here is flight, which is the best it's ever been, but it's hard not to be distracted while you're driving around the runway and a van without wheels drives in your path. It's hard not to be distracted while you're flying passengers around for a scenic flight and their lines are delivered with such awful inflection, tone, and they just won't stop speaking. It's hard not to be distracted when you're taking off from the runway and buildings look like mud. Unfortunately, it isn't the revolution that 2020 was after an absence of 14 years for the series. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is still the undisputed king of aviation simulation, and with a whole new amount of guided ways to play for a slightly more casual approach, there is a lot to like here for both the hardcore and the slightly more casual. Before leaving, consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. The bigger the audience, the more access I will be given and the more I will be able to share with you. Our founding principle is positivity. The world needs more positivity, and I hope to see you in the next video.